Hi and a very good evening all of you. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a steady plan for the next 2 months for NEET MDS 2023-24. Now this plan is going to be in general for all those who are appearing for NEET MDS, and there are certain areas which are very specific and which has to be kept in mind and which has to be modified as per your current situation. But there are many things which are in general to be understood if you are preparing or writing the NEET MDS 2023-24. Okay, so what I'm going to discuss today, the topics I'm going to discuss today is, one is a reality check. What is the current situation? It's very important to understand that. Okay, it's very important to understand the reality check, or what is the current situation and what you have to do. Because without understanding that, if you're planning, then it will never reach at the right point. Okay, now understanding the exam pattern. I've done a detailed video on this, but this is going to be very short and a quick understanding of the exam pattern. Okay, then we'll be understanding the concept called prioritization. You have 2 months in front of you, isn't it? So prioritization, or you can call it as a kind of a compromise. You can finish the entire syllabus in 2 months. That's one kind of reality check. Okay, then we will come to the concept of time management. How much hours of questions you have to solve in a day, how much lectures you have to do in a day, all those things, how much time you have to spend for revisions, all these time management. Now a subject wise study plan. Now this is very customizable as per your requirements. I'll give you a general study plan to make you realize that this is the current situation and this is what you have to understand. Then based on that, you can modify your study plans. Okay, then we are going to come to the next part, which is stress management and positivity. Now if you don't have this, rest all is going to be in vain. Okay, then common mistakes and misconceptions. This is very important to understand, because many students think either they overdo or they underdo based on the misconceptions. Okay, they do what is not required, or at times they do what is or they miss out what is required. So you have to understand these mistakes and misconceptions. Okay, then finally I'm going to come to 3 outcomes of writing the exam. So that's also very important. I'll tell you why in the last part of it. Okay, so let's start the first thing, that is the reality check. Okay, please understand the vastness of the syllabus. As I've told you, you can't finish the entire syllabus in the next 2 months. Okay, so the availability of time, you have to do a comparison, availability of time and vastness of syllabus. Now the entire lecture is based on this, the availability of time and the vastness of syllabus and how you're going to cover them. Okay, now please note, you can't perfect the syllabus. Even if you have got 1 year in front of you, you can't still perfect the entire syllabus. Impossible. Okay, so what you should do, you must know what others know. This is very important. Plus means rest all is additional. You can do anything additional, but the minimum, bare minimum, what others know. I give a simple example. Imagine you have got an hypothetical topper in front of you. This person, someone tells you this is a topper. You ask him, you get from him what all he have learned. Okay, imagine you have got a software to extract from his brain what all did he learn from this particular year, and you're going to learn that. Imagine the situation like that. If you learn that, what is the possibility, what is the outcome going to be? Definitely you'll come close to this person, isn't it? So that is the thing, that you should know what others know. That's the easiest way of learning for NEET MDS. Okay, now understanding the exam pattern. Now this is very important. You all know that there are there are 240 questions in 180 minutes. So I'm going to divide the questions based on the difficulty level and what effect does it have on your rank. Okay, so the first 100 questions, if you see, these are the easy questions, but don't underestimate this. It's very important. It keeps you in competition. Now this is the importance of the easy questions. People say that I'll do extra, I'll do more, I need more, I do extra. See, if you want to stay in the competition, the first thing is you have to be as much as possible correct in this 100 questions. You can't compromise this area, because you do all the rest. Now there's a problem with all the rest. These are not easy questions, you can go wrong. But this 100 questions, you should be as much as accurate as possible. So this is a primary area of focus you have to do. It's not that like some students say that, no, I learned all the, I did dental pulse once, now I need all extra. I'm not going to revise, I'm going to. So that's a key part, that's a revision. Okay, the easy questions, it keeps you in competition. Now the next 50 questions, these are moderate questions. Okay, moderately difficult or moderately easy questions, I would say, which are kind of modification of simple questions. Now this one lifts your rank up. It still can't make you the topper. It still can't make you or give you your government seat, but it maintains you in the competition and lifts your rank slightly up. Okay, you come somewhere in the range of 4,000, 5,000, like that. Okay, now the next 50 questions. Now this is concept-based questions, can be easy or difficult, but these are concept-based questions. Basically, your clinical questions, image-based questions, all those. Okay, so yeah, and even not even clinical, maybe a concept directly concept-based questions. So these are the ones which is going to decide your government seat. Okay, so you have to stay in the competition, the rank has to be lifted up, and then you get the government seat. Now the next 20 questions, now definitely, no doubt, you can't be perfectly correct in the 200 questions, isn't it? There will be negatives. So there's some compensations required in the next 20 questions. Okay, now and that is advanced level questions. Again, your concept based only, but slightly advanced level, and this decides the topper as well as compensates for your negatives. Okay, now how to attempt an exam and how to reduce the negative markings and how much questions to attempt. Should you attempt the doubtful questions? All these are different discussion. I'll come to that. Now the next level is kind of, I tell you, it's untouchables. 20. Now it depends upon how much effort you have put also. Okay, if you have learned, you have put the entire year of effort, it will be sometimes 10 questions untouchable. Definitely you can't attempt 240 out of 240. No exam is of that sort. Okay, you can reach up to 230, 235, not 240. So the problem with this untouchables is that it can destroy all your efforts. Okay, you have reached that government seat mark and you simply close your eyes and try to attempt. I want to reach the 240 mark, so I'm going to attempt even if I don't know anything. It can even lose. You can even lose your government seat. Now the best part is that many students do this. So most of the time this gets compensated to some extent. Okay, like 230 and 240 out of 240, definitely you're going to go into lots of negatives. So the key facts to remember here based on the exam pattern, the one is you have to touch all the subjects. It should not be like, I'll do 10 subjects, I'll leave. The problem is going to be like, it's all divided between the 20 subjects. Okay, so easy questions can come from the questions which you have not, the subject which you have not touched. Okay, some easy questions can come from there. Some moderately easy questions can come from there. Some easy concept-based questions can come from the subject which you have not touched. All this will affect your rank and more importantly your confidence. I'll come to that. That is coming under the outcomes. Okay, second point to note, prioritize the minimum area. Remember I told you should be knowing what others know. So I'm going to come to that again, prioritization. How? Then understand the core concepts. Now see, many students, what they do know, they feel like they need lectures for everything. 2 months, how many lectures can you do? So majorly focus on the lectures for the core concepts area or the core areas, not everything. There are certain things which you have to learn yourself and save your time, more importantly. Okay. Next is solve new questions. This is very important. I'll come to that. This is one of the biggest misconceptions people have. Okay, solve new questions, which keeps you thinking, which keeps you in the competition. Now, know which question not to attempt. Now, that comes with solving new questions, practice, learning, key areas, all those things, lots of combinations. But now, I want you to know something known as prioritization or compromising. What to compromise, how much to compromise, what not to compromise. Okay, it's very important to understand that. So, here you can divide the areas into must-do areas and extras. Okay, extra bit or hi-fi things. So the must-do areas, if I come to that, okay, the most important thing is you should learn the core concepts. No doubt, you have to learn the core concepts. You can't miss it out. That's not extra. So for that, you have to do the key lectures. Again, I'm not saying all the lectures, Dental MDS Academy students, there are some key lectures, there are some optional lectures. Okay, if you can do the optional also, it will keep you up in your rank. And I told you that 20 questions at times, that is also needed. So key lectures and keynotes, especially for Dental MDS Academy students, again, lecture notes, that's the most important. Okay, now you can't miss out in solving previous questions. In simple terms, dental pulse, okay, or dentist, not both. So solving previous questions, you have to do dental pulse, you have to do lectures. Now some people say that I'll do just dental pulse. Now the problem is that the concept will not come. Okay, now doing test papers, very important. At least one test paper in a week to start with. It should not be like I'll do test papers every day. That's extra. Okay, I'll tell you what to do with extra. Now revision every day, that's bare minimum. So one test paper every week, revision every day, solving questions from your dental pulse every day, learning the core concepts, very important. How much time to be allotted for each, I'll tell you. Now what are the extras? Solving additional questions. Okay, solving additional test papers, that's extra. If you can, if you're a very fast learner, you are learning 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, and you finish the basic areas, the must do areas, then if you still have time, then do extra questions definitely. I see some students asking me, sir, should I do this particular test paper, which was optional actually, should I do that? No. If you have not done your must do areas, what's the purpose of doing the extras? Because first, as I've told you, first you have to be there in the competition. Then your rank has to jump up. Okay, then only you become the topper. And in fact, even your must-do areas will make you topper also. What is that extra bit? Not topper, your government seat. Okay, somewhere 300, 350, 400, depending upon the state. But becoming a topper, definitely top 50 rank. That is extra, but that is not possible by everyone. Average student might has to compromise in the range of 350, 400, which is definitely possible. Something that no, if I do only extra, then only I'll get that. No, extra is extra only if you want to become the topper. Now, pending topics which doesn't come under core areas. This also people make mistakes. Sir, I did all the pharmacology, but I have some areas remaining. What I'll do is I'll do that also. I'll perfect that, then I'll come to. No. Your core areas first. So if you have anything in core areas, definitely I've given you the strategy what to be done. But pending areas which doesn't come under core areas, please don't do them as your must do areas. Yes, extra. If you can save time, if you can put extra bit of time beyond your must do, yes, no problem. Learning the detailed explanations, especially for your dental pulse recent questions. There are lots of detailed explanations out there. Now that is again extra. Okay, if you have finished your first, for example, you have to do a chapter in general medicine, which is cardiovascular system. So you did the must do lectures for that. Okay, for example, and you did the lecture notes, you made the lecture notes and you did that, you reviewed that. Okay, then you did your dental pulse. Okay, then you're starting to do your recent questions. Okay, you are starting to do your recent questions. Now you see the detailed explanation should not be done at that moment. At that moment, question, explanations, the bare minimum needed to understand that particular question. If you can come back on the same day for the recent questions, that is where you have to do that detailed explanations. Okay, now reading textbooks, I have purposefully put that question marks there. Reading textbook at this time is not indicated. Okay, I'll come to this more on the misconceptions part. So please keep this in mind. Do extras only after the must do areas for that day is over. Okay, please note, for the day is over, so you are getting, or you should be having, in fact, Dental MDS Academy is giving you a daily schedule, what to do. So if you don't have it, other students, you should have a daily schedule, what you're planning to do in that particular day, and that is the must do areas. Once you do that, then only go for extras, otherwise don't do. Even if you have the best questions app, okay, don't go for extra unless you do your bare minimum. Okay, now that's about the concept behind prioritization. So means to say you should be prioritizing the must do area so that you know what others know, so that at least you reach that government college seat. Okay, now your priority is MDS seat, then it's even more easy. Okay, now that is must do area is much more than enough. Okay, if you don't want a government seat. Now time management, dental MSc academy student, it doesn't apply to you. You should target government college seat. Okay, now time management. So what all should you do in a day? Okay, in a day you should be doing revision, lectures and lecture notes, bare minimum I'm talking about. Okay, question solving and test papers. So these three things has to be done every day. Every day. So how much time should you allocate for revision? 2 to 2.5 hours. Now dental MSc academy students, we were doing so far 2 hours. We increased it to 2.5. And you know how much time to study, 9 hours an average. I'll tell you what to do if you are not studying 9 hours others. Okay, so 2.5 hours of revision, it's mandatory. It's mandatory. If you don't do this, you're just wasting your time. You're not building your confidence. Okay, you have to study 2.5 hours per day revision. Now, if you're someone who are just starting your preparation, you don't have 2.5 hours of revision needed, isn't it? It's not like that today what you studied, tomorrow you're going to revise for 2.5 hours. No. The moment you reach 2 to 3 subjects, that's where this 2.5 hours happens. Okay, that's a completely different lecture, how to revise, that's there in the app, you can refer to that. But yes, 2.5 hours of revision, lectures and lecture notes, that is learning the core concepts, 2.5 hours, so that's 5 hours now. Okay, now question solving and test papers 4 hours, so it's totally, it comes to a bare minimum of 9 hours. Okay, I always suggest 8 to 9 hours, except if you're an intern. There's a different strategy. So keep in mind, even if you're not studying 9 hours, the 20 to 30% of your time should be for revision, 30 to 40% for lectures and notes, core concept learning, 40 to 50%, so approximately 50% of your time should be for question solving. Now please note, it's not just question solving. You should also learn concepts, you should also revise, that's the key. Okay. Now this is the most controversial area I'm going to discuss today, and yes, based on your current level, you have to modify it. Okay, or should I come this to the last? Okay, I'll discuss it now because we have not much remaining. Now, what am I going to tell you this in here is the time remaining and how should you plan your studies. Okay, and you should be planning in a way that is 2 subjects per day. Okay, now it all depends upon your priority, but the realization should come to your mind. Okay, the availability of time, that's my primary purpose. Okay, if you're someone who does 2 subjects or 1 subject in a day, comfortable with that, and you are still able to do 8 hours, 9 hours. If you're a dental MSc academy student and you are getting the exact plan, yes, you have to follow that. Absolutely, dental MSc academy students, we have started much early. Okay, this is like a general plan for the general population out there. Okay, and this is where you have to slightly differ from what I'm saying here. You have a different plan, you all know that. So please just listen to this part, understand the reality and plan accordingly. Okay, so the time remaining is 9 weeks approximately. Now, depending upon when you're watching this lecture, so accordingly you have to adjust your time also. I'll give you general guidelines for that. Now, that is 8 weeks should be for learning and initial revision. So it should be learning, I told you, learning plus revision, learning your core concepts, solving your questions, revision. Then in the last 1 week, you're going to catch up, some brushing up should be there, and final revision. That's the plan going to be. Now, yes, 2 subjects per day. So what you have to do, 2 subjects per day, you'll be prioritizing 60% of your time for difficult subjects, 40% of your time for easy subjects. Now, depending upon how easy it is. Even you can take that 30%, 70% also, depending upon how easy, difficult. But the priority should be more time for difficult subjects. Okay, touch all subjects, that's a key, remember. Now, yes, focus mainly on AIPG, AIMS, PGI questions when you're solving your dental piles. Your extra bit you will get in test papers. Your extra bit you will get in lectures. So focus when you're learning your dental points. Remember, I told you should touch all the subjects. Okay, so you should focus. It should not be like all those controversial questions of Karnataka CET or Comet K or Manipal 1998 questions. Some people are not born. Some people put the controversial questions and ask, what is the answer for the C? It's a 90s question, 91. 91, the understanding of dentistry is absolutely different. Absolutely different in 90s. Now the advancement is absolutely different. So medical, okay, I would say medicine was much more evolved in 90s, but dentistry was evolving. So you can't say that, this question, how can be this the answer? Anyway, I'm not getting into that part. So focus on AIPG, AIMS, PGI questions. Very, very, very important. Explanation is not the priority, at least in your first round. When you're revising, you're going to go fast, you can focus on a little bit of explanation, but your first round should be covering what others are covering. Okay? Now, how you're going to finish this thing? So we're going to divide it into week 1 to 8. That is week 1 to 4, week 5 to 6, and week 7 to 8. Okay, so it is first 4 weeks. What is going to be your plan? Okay, this is just a general plan. One difficult subject in 2 weeks. Okay, one easy subject per week. So what is that? That is 4 weeks you have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in that 4 weeks, one difficult subject, one more difficult subject. So 2 difficult subjects. Okay, 2 difficult subjects. One easy subject for week. So you have 4 weeks, 4 subjects. So in total you have got 6 subjects to cover in the first 4 weeks. Now, how you're going to cover it? How much have you covered it? Okay, what is your current situation? You have been preparing since 8 months. All varies. Now, if you're freshly starting now, you should be very, very, very prioritizing things out. Okay, and covering it up in the first round and revising in between. Okay, now one difficult subjects in 2 weeks. Now, what it has to be? Now, just a general understanding, oral pathology is a very big subject. Prosthodontics is a very big subject. So in that you can consider oral pathology and prosto. If you are someone who is you have prosto, you find to be very easy, you have done it well, oral paths, you have done it well, you can substitute. Okay, here. But these two are time requiring subjects. Now, other 4 subjects, ortho, perio, general path, microbiology. So general path, microbiology, very small subjects. Perio, one of the easy subjects. Ortho, yes, you need some effort, but basically you're finishing 6 subjects in 4 weeks. Okay, that should be. Now, next 2 weeks. So you have got 4 more weeks. Again, so you have got 2 weeks. Okay, remember, look into my hands. Okay, my fingers. 1 difficult subject per week. Okay, and 2 easy subjects per week. So that means you're doing 2 difficult subjects, 4 easy subjects. So again, you're doing 6 subjects. So here I would say 2 weeks you're getting. So one is general medicine, one is community. Okay, now general medicine is a big subject. So you're putting 1 week, general medicine can be a priority. Now again, learning general medicine, learning oral pathology has to be very prioritized. Okay, yes, Dental Amaze Academy students know this. We have done general medicine now, we have done oral pathology now. Now 2 easy subjects per week. Okay, we have done even more, hasn't it? Now, yes, pharmacology, you'll tell me some. Already I got some messages of pharmacology. I didn't do much good. Test paper pharmacology was not good for me. So I can't put it as an easy subject, but yes, you have to compromise. Anatomy again not. Okay, we have in our schedule anatomy is difficult subject. Pharmacology we have already done. Okay. Pharmacology we have already done. Dental materials conservation. So this is just a plan. You can shift how you're doing. So basically the next 2 weeks you're going to do 6 more subjects. So 6 plus 6, 12. You've got finally what? 2 more weeks, week 7 and 8. You have 1 more, that is 9th week revision. 2 weeks remaining, yes, 8 subjects remaining. So basically depends upon how you take the subjects to be. Yes, general surgery easily coverable, endo easily coverable, pedo very small subject, OMFS, yeah, a clinical subject, but prioritization. DOH very small, radiology very small, biochemistry half the marks compared to any other subjects. Remember, you know that biochemistry, physiology, microbiology, general pathology, 7 marks each. So you have to cover it entirely, but yes, selectively. Selectively in the sense, whatever is there to be covered in your dental pulse, in your lectures, in your notes, not everything. You shouldn't cover physiology like you're covering general medicine. Even if you're a little bit less confident in physiology, it's fine. But you can't be less confident in general medicine. That's a prioritization you have to keep in mind. Okay. So yes, this is just a general understanding. You have 8 weeks in front of you, a little bit more definitely, but 9 weeks, isn't it? If you consider this week also, when I'm putting the video, you have approximately 10 weeks, isn't it? So don't worry, you're still ahead. Anyway, stress management. Please note, no one goes. This is the biggest stress buster. Okay, whenever you feel stress, remember, no one goes to the exam with full confidence. I remember I told you one of the first rank holder story. One of my friend who got first rank. I don't want to name him, but yes. Yeah, I don't want to repeat it. I've said this many a times. So no one goes. Even the first rank holder doesn't goes to the exam with full confidence. Everyone feels like, I've not done anything. So don't worry. Second is, okay, at this phase, it's all about how much positive you are. Okay, the amount of positivity you have, that decides your rank. Definitely your efforts will come into play. Now, yes, the most important part of today's lecture, common mistakes and misconceptions. Okay, so I'll discuss one by one. Let me just close this part. Okay, yeah. Now, yes, the first thing which you have to, or which biggest misconception, I'll master my syllabus. I've said many things now related to this. It's impossible. You can't master your syllabus even in a year. So don't think of it. Remember, the key term is you should know what others know. Okay? Now, the biggest misconception or mistake is reading textbook at this phase. Okay, don't try to read textbooks. Okay, don't even think of it at this stage. Okay, you can't master them. The key is, again, you should know what others know. That is your dental pulse primarily and your core areas. Attempting only the questions, I know this is a completely different lecture. People say that I'm going to attempt the exam. NEET exam, let's wait. The academy exam, wherever you are, you feel like I'll attempt only what I know so that my rank will go up. Now there is a mathematics behind that. Okay, one thing very important, you're getting +1 in simple terms for every correct answer. I would say, to simplify it more, you're getting 4 marks for every correct answer. To lose all these 4 marks, the next 4 questions you have to make it wrong. Okay, so it's always no, blind guess not allowed. But yes, knowledgeable guessworks you have to do. It's not like whatever, I'm very confident I'll attempt that, others I'll leave. No, not at all. Which should never ever happen. Okay, now that's a different lecture. I'll come to that. Now, another thing is, okay, you have to learn from your mistakes. Your mistake should happen now, not in the exam. And imagine you went wrong in a particular question, you was doing a guesswork. You should keep in mind that I'm not going to repeat this mistake. Okay, so that's how you bring down your negatives also. Your thought process has to slowly change and get diverted into the positive direction. Now, next is not attempting test papers. Very clever, very clever people saying that, okay, I'll not attempt the test papers. Now see, basically test papers are the key because you learn from your mistakes. Okay, you learn from the mistake, you develop speed by doing more and more test papers. Your brain keeps thinking. Imagine you're doing only dental pulse. The problem is that at one particular time, your brain stops thinking. Trust me, your brain stops thinking. Okay, that then, whenever a question gets twisted up, your brain don't know how to solve it. So doing more and more questions or keep attempting new questions, it's very important. Okay, through test paper, confidence building. That's very important. You attempt test paper, you see yourself improving. At times you go down, no problem, bounce back. So slowly by slowly you realize that okay, I'm getting better and better. Simply learning the theory will not help. Okay, now the next is no regular revision. Now this is where I've seen the biggest mistake. You learn everything, you don't revise. What happens is that after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you have learned is vanished. You've just wasted your time. So please note, 2 hours of revision every day minimum. Only test papers without understanding concepts. Now that is the commonest mistake. Commonest. Okay, people come to me, so do you have test papers? I've already registered with 4 apps now. All the 4 test papers I'm doing. And I just want one more, so please give me. So I asked them, how is your concepts? Concepts I'm not worried about. I'll do more and more questions. No, the new pattern is not like that. Okay, new pattern, if you're doing this way, you hardly can get maximum 150 questions. Okay, if you have 100% accuracy, definitely no one has. Now Googling, yeah, see one question, Google, learn everything about it. Next, who told you need to learn every concept about whatever previous question has come? No, there are core areas where definitely you have to learn everything, but there are non-core areas also. So Googling for everything. Now see, again, does the examiner puts questions from Google? No. So Google's information is completely different from what is there in your textbooks. Okay, then again, reading textbook, another thing. So yes, the key is again, what is with you? The biggest notes, the biggest resource, the best book is already in front of you, Dental Pulse. Learn that first, okay? Not Google. Medical lectures, now another funniest part. People think, okay, general medicine, I'll go and there are some very famous lecturers on YouTube for medical lectures, discussing on diabetes for 4 hours, clotrimazole, 5-hour lecture. See, basically, medical subjects are very important, but very selective for you. The non-selective is your clinical subjects. Your medical subjects, your understanding, your concepts are very important, but the key is not that. The key is your dental subjects. That is where it goes deeper and deeper, not your medical subjects. Okay. Now another misconception is only I have so much to do. Today I received a message from a student. Sir, I have so much to do. Only I am, for me it is this, others are doing very well. Okay, you all know that we are monitoring on our WhatsApp group, students, online students, is been monitored every day on what they're covering and all. So when someone sees it, they feel that, okay, only I am doing very bad. No, everyone has got one or the other problem. It's all about managing your stress properly. Okay, not just you, it's all. So like it's everyone else is studying everything. No, everything no one is studying. The better you can prioritize, the better you can compromise, the better you are. Okay? Yes. Recent questions are very tough. Now, some people don't understand the concepts because earlier and all, 5 years back, it's all memorizing questions, memory based. Now it has more kind of concept based, but they are not tough. The moment you know the concept, they become very easy. So it's not like, it's not the problem of the questions. It's the problem you have not understood the concept. Okay. The moment you understand the concept, it is going to be easy for you. Now another thing which is all are clinical level questions, not all. And not all are very difficult also. Like I told you, hardly you will get 40 questions in an exam which comes under this category, very difficult. Okay. So what happens is that if you just take last 5 years question paper, okay, you see, I'm talking about human psychology, okay, last 5 years, imagine you have got 40 very difficult questions, okay, imagine, very difficult. So 5 years, how much does it add to? 200 questions. People, the human psychology is like this. we focus on the most difficult areas. We say that, oh my God, this question is difficult. So you solved 240 questions, you come across 40 difficult questions, you say, exam was very tough. No, there is 200 questions which are very simple. Okay, so it's not all clinical questions, it's not all difficult questions. Limited, okay, very limited number. Now, yes, finally, you can't even miss. Now, this is a very big misconception. I have to learn each and every line in my dental pulse. You can't even miss a line. Now, this was true, I would say 5, 6, 7 years back, where dental pulse had 2 volumes. Now it's 4 volumes. How can you learn everything in dental pulse? Another thing is dental pulse recent questions. What they have done is they've taken the entire. Imagine there is a question on a particular topic. They have taken the entire topic text, pasted it there. Unlike previously where they were very specific. So you can't learn everything what is there in your dental pulse. You have to be selective now. Okay, and especially now at that time, there was no coaching centers, no one to guide. So you had time, in fact, to do all those also. But now it's a very high competition. People are being spoon-fed, literally spoon-fed. What to learn, what not to learn. So in that case, you have a lot more spoon-feeding happening, which you have to do, than to, vaguely doing things out of your prioritizing areas. Okay. Now, yes, this is again a controversial area. 3 outcomes of writing the exam. Okay. Now, one of the most beautiful outcome is you get a seat, either government or private, whichever is your priority. That's the best thing which can happen, and which can happen if you do the right things. Second thing is you get the confidence. Okay. I tell this all the time. When I gave my first attempt, okay, I was not putting my 100% efforts and all, like I did for the next year. But yes, I was working in clinics. I was, whenever I get time, I used to read and all those. But I was never very confident. But I gave the exam, the results came 511. I was just, oh my God, how can this happen? I was not very confident. I didn't do even good. I never expected this 511. So this gave me a high boost. Now this is not just my story, many students. Okay. Sometimes 1,000 can boost your confidence. A rank of 2,000 can boost your confidence depending upon how much you have put. So now this will happen when you touch all the subjects. Maybe you have not mastered all the subjects. You touch all the subjects, easy questions, easy picking, a little bit of difficult also you get. You feel that, okay, you get a good rank. Or there is another possibility. You see all these questions, you say that, okay, I have not revised well. I have not learned well, but these are all the questions I know. But so now if I put a sincere effort for the next 1 year, I'm going to get through. This is another way of getting that confidence. Okay. But the third option is you are losing the confidence. When does this happen? When you don't touch all the subjects, you study a little bit of medicine, or you instead, okay, not little bit, you mastered medicine. You mastered oral pathology. Someone told you, oral pathology is a very important subject, general medicine is a very important subject. So 5, 6 subjects you mastered, you studied 12 hours, you put entire effort, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day, but you did only 10 subjects and you mastered it. You went for the exam. What will you say? I learned a lot, but nothing came. Huh? So this is going to you're going to lose the confidence. Okay, the moment you lose the confidence, it stays there in your mind for the next year or so. Last year I studied a lot, I studied all these, but then I lost my confidence, so should not happen. So the key here, what I want to say here is you touch all these subjects. Definitely, there are certain subjects which you are good at. Do it well. Definitely mastering is not possible, but do it well. But then touch all the subjects. There should not be even one subject which you say that I haven't done my dental pulse of that. Dental pulse is a bare minimum. Okay, and if you're in Dental Amaze Academy, the bare minimum is the lectures related, the mandatory lectures also, which can boost your confidence level. Okay, so hopefully this has given a good understanding to you, and you have realized the current situation. And yes, certain things has to be planned from your side, okay, which based on these concepts you can plan your studies, because many times I've seen students who are already have very confident with 10 subjects, then again doing them again and again. What I'll do is this dental anatomy, histology, I'll rush through in the end. No, if you're good in 10 subjects, the remaining 10 you have to at least be average. Okay, so all these were basic guidelines. You can modify this based on your requirements and needs. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much. See you in the next session. Goodbye.